Okay, welcome to Barstool Gold, and this is the first episode of our bonus Barstool Gold episodes, and we're going to do something a little different for everyone listening. We're going to interview people in their professions and get to the bottom of what a day in the life of basically interested guys. We're interested guys. We're interested in different things. So we have today...
Fun fact, it started from the TV show.
True. That actually,
true.
we were trying to get Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We were gonna have. Well, good thing we didn't.
Yeah.
In retrospect,
Me too. Okay.
He's canceled.
Yep.
Bleep his name out, Hank.
So we have Hillary, a licensed therapist, on the show.
Hi.
And we're going to do two things here today. Hopefully, actually three things. So she's writing stuff down. What does that mean?
I don't know. She's already judging us.
All right. Okay.
Is it
Total
okay to say
judgment.
that I'm a little scared?
Yeah.
Do you judge?
Not at all. Who am I?
That felt like a judge.
No. It's
Okay.
like, who says it? Salt and pepper, there's only one true judge, and that's God, so chill.
Okay.
And
I like that.
Okay.
So
no
all right.
judgment.
So Hillary is a licensed therapist, and we are going to try to get to the root of the issue, our trust issues with our audience trust issues with us. Two, we're going to ask some FAQ fun questions, what it's like to be a therapist, and three, we're going to see if we can fix Hank's bad attitude.
Well, I can tell you where it all starts.
See how he does it? Yeah.
Hank, I don't know if
Hank
you heard.
chimes in.
he's defensive.
Big
What's
cat.
up, Hank?
It's not defensive. It's
What's
more
up?
just like a long time ago, I thought I made a really good point, and I proved myself to PFT.
Oh.
And all he had to do was just apologize, say sorry. He
AKA
was wrong,
emasculate myself.
and I was right. And he never has, and I just...
Oh, she's
it's-
jotting down
yeah.
notes and giving me
You're
the eye
getting
about.
the stink eye,
Yeah,
PFT.
I'm not going to emasculate myself and admit fault.
I
If
will
that-
admit I
don't think
fault.
there's a problem with
Yeah, I admit fault all the time. Hank does as well. PFT has a hard time saying he's been wrong when
What's
he's
up
wrong.
with that, PFT?
Because I'm not wrong very often.
Wait, but
I actually had. That's not true, Big Cat. I say that I'm wrong all the time. You're wrong about saying that I don't say
Okay,
that I'm wrong.
so, well,
I'm
guess
not
what?
wrong about that.
I'll admit that I was wrong.
hold up.
There you go.
What is emasculating about apologizing?
I'm not going to bend the knee to Hank.
You know.
Oh, you want to kiss the ring, bend the knee. You don't want
I
to do
don't
that.
want to do that.
Yeah.
A real man, a true man, never apologizes.
Okay, we gonna take it back to your youth.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me history of apologies. What did apologies look like, mean in your culture, our family culture, first culture growing up, where
Yeah.
we learn our core beliefs, where we have some cognitions that can be a little off.
Oh.
So my family growing up, like, are you asking?
His
if,
dad made him eat a lot
are
of
you,
cornflakes.
Yeah, are you asking if we ever apologized to each other?
When you did something that in your family of origin, your culture was defined as unacceptable, not nice, rude, what happened next?
Felt Hamilton culture.
I felt good.
You felt
Okay.
good if you
Yeah.
did
I-
something. Okay.
I have a
Bad boy.
question.
You a bad boy.
Yeah.
Not really. I wasn't a bad boy, but okay. Let's.
What was the consequence?
Let's talk about my dad buying me cornflakes.
Yeah.
Is it normal behavior for a father to buy like 40 crates of cornflakes because he found a special deal at the supermarket where he combined buy one get one free with like a half off deal, and they
Is he
paid.
like one of those super couponers?
No, he's not. But he found a loophole
He
where,
was at this time.
where he got paid 5 cents per box of cornflakes. So he bought the entire warehouse filled with cornflakes.
Did you
and I had to eat-
like cornflakes?
I hated it. I
Learn
hated
to
it.
like it.
No, it's
Oh, it was like, you gonna eat those cornflakes.
What
Yes.
about is it a problem that PFT when he was growing up would oftentimes skin and kill animals, small animals?
For what purpose? PFT?
pleasure.
to achieve an erection.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get off on the
Yeah.
the skinning and peeling of
yes.
small
I
animals.
do
Cats,
not.
birds, all that kind of stuff.
I do not.
No,
You do not.
He does not.
Okay.
He does
But
not.
All right.
we'll get to the
Because
apology.
we would have
You
spoken
know,
about that a little
This
later.
is classic
Okay.
Hank, what he just
He
did, because
deflected.
Big Cat listed the order we were going to go in,
Yes.
and then Hank said, "Okay, let's dive right into
Okay.
my part of it."
So we're
and
gonna
I'll start-
hold on the
yeah.
corn-
Hold on
cornflakes.
that. Hold on cornflakes. Hold on Hank.
You not bending a knee. Oh, we're not. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to deal with Hank later because this is bad attitude Hank. So the first thing that we need to address, we as a podcast, we have been around for 3 years
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
And we oftentimes make promises to our audience
Okay.
that we then never see through. So, for instance,
Such as, thank you.
we have said that we were going to watch the one single episode.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, fine. All right, start at the beginning. We said we
like
were going to
that,
join a
Hank.
cult.
Thank
You're
We
welcome.
said we were going to join a cult.
Okay.
We have not done that.
Have you not done your research on which one?
We never even thought about it.
You've never. So it was like.
Yeah.
Just.
I know
we just said it.
We're still going to do
Yeah,
it.
Why did
eventually.
you say it?
Because it sounds like a good idea, right?
Okay.
Okay, so we also said we were going to do airport reviews, where we review different airports across America. Now, we have been in probably 300 airports,
Right.
Some the same, but 300 different same airports in the past 3 years, and we have never even thought, one time, we said, hey, we should do this review, and then we just ate buffalo wings instead. That's another one.
Okay.
We said
How are the wings?
They were great.
Yeah.
So let's start
It was
there.
in Buffalo.
They had buffalo
It was
wing
in
soup
Buffalo.
too.
So that can be an action step toward an airport review. Hey, I was at LAX and I was at, whoever's wings, and these were the best. These
So
were
you're saying
wangs.
we did do it.
I think that might have been an
I
action
like
step.
you a lot. I
An
like you a
action
lot.
step. Okay,
Yeah.
Right?
What is an action step?
So here's the deal. We can make promises. They can be empty. Or we can make promises and we can actually commit
I like the first one.
to just do, empty,
Empty
promises.
promises, yeah.
So why do we make empty promises? Let's dive into our psyche a little bit. Here.
Tell me about it. So we go back to family of origin. I'm sorry. So no cornflakes. Holding on the
No
cornflakes. Tell me about what promises meant in your family of origin. If somebody made a promise to you,
I don't think I had any issues with that. I think it comes
What
down
were-
to simply that I have a poor concept of time.
okay.
So I oftentimes will say I will do something
Okay.
expecting time to not go forward. So I will
Okay.
say, hey, in 3 months' time I will do this, thinking in the back of my head, hey, Dan, you're cool because 3 months is never going to come.
So to be fair,
Yeah.
you are busy.
Yeah.
You have a lot of stuff going on in your life.
Right.
Right? Good things, I hope.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Looks good.
Except for Hank.
Other than Hank right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But I don't even want to come down on you, Hank.
No,
I'm not.
he's
I'm not.
number
I
3.
have it enough
Yeah,
already.
He's
yeah.
number 3.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I'm in a dark place.
So if time is a thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe it's you needing a little more time management skill.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not you being like, hey, y'all, I'm going to do this, but nah, it's not like that. It's like you have things to do. Maybe you need to set aside, instead of saying, hey, we're going to review 1 million airports, you say, I'm going to review 1 airport. I'm going to fly around a lot this month. By the end of the month, I am going to have,
So
I don't know,
set realistic
something.
goals.
Smart goals, yes. That's what we in the biz call smart
But
goals.
what about this
Isn't
whole
it
thing?
more traumatizing if you don't meet even smaller goals?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Why
a
are
great
we-
point, Hank.
Why are we not going to meet small goals?
Because of
Where
the
is
future
this?
thing I was
Yeah.
talking about. Like future me has never done anything that present me says that he's going to do.
So, but we evolve. So if this is something on your list that you would like to see yourself doing,
But Hank's right. Like if I
I
set
can
small
change.
goals, I'm still going to fail, and then I'm going to feel like even more of a piece of shit. So actually,
What
I
is
actually
this,
think
I'm
it's
gonna
reversed.
fail?
I think in 2019 we're going to do 75 airport reviews.
so
And then when we
that's-
fail, we're like, well, that
yeah.
wasn't realistic.
Well, that
Yeah.
exactly. So that's the thing. It's not realistic.
But that's
It's-
good.
And no, because that comes with expectations, and those are dangerous, and they set us up for failure. So you don't want to do that.
But
You know, here's the thing. I think you need to understand this about us. We don't really mind small failures.
Okay,
Our
that's
life
fine.
is a series of small
Yeah.
failures.
And that's
We can
why
get-
you have success.
I'm very used to small. That doesn't even faze me anymore.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, if I get a concussion in the shower, that's a small failure. I'm
do you
okay
do
as
in the
long as I'm
shower?
clean.
You're good.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if we can not have these big failures, and to me a big failure would be going over.
Yeah,
So
or
if
like
it-
having a TV show that gets canceled.
Yeah, like something
Okay.
like that. So if I say I'm going to do 1 airport review and I don't do that 1 airport review, to me that's a much bigger failure
PFT,
than doing 1 airport review after I say I'm going to do 100 of them.
Here's a perfect example. We said we were going to watch 1 single episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. That's 22 minutes. We haven't done it
Why?
because I don't know.
What's up with that, really?
Life gets in the way. Yeah.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know, people
so
grow older.
listen, but SpongeBob gets better.
Children
So-
grow older.
Yeah.
Time makes
Landslide.
you
Yeah.
yeah.
bolder.
It'll
Yeah.
bring us down.
Yeah, the landslide.
So why this failure? You don't care about failure.
No,
right?
Not really.
I eat failure
Good.
for breakfast.
Well, that's great because that's how we succeed. That's
Oh,
how we.
okay.
Don't you think? Like we need small. Hank, where was
So-
that? That was like, yeah, no.
But don't you think we're too averse to failure? Because we literally almost relish in our
No,
failures.
because I believe that we as humans, we make choices. They're either fear-based or love-based. So we can make choices.
Which one's
like
hunger?
this. No,
Huh?
you know what she just said, PFT?
What?
Allow me
Please,
to
step on
extrapolate
it.
on that.
Speak on
She
it.
just said all of our choices are because we love our audience too much.
That's what I heard too. Yeah. So we don't do anything out of fear.
That's what you said, right?
I'm saying that, don't put words in my mouth, fear versus love. So you can say, I'm not going to do this or that because I'm afraid of failure. You're not afraid of failure.
No.
So you can make the choice out of love of yourself, love of your audience, saying, hey, we said we're going to do this. Let's let them know what JFK's, airport wings
Shitter
are.
looks like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
By choosing that. Not fear of not getting it done or not reviewing, one every week.
Okay, I've lost you here because I
Why?
liked my version better, where we just make promises out of love, and then we don't do them because we're just not scared of failure.
You gotta open yourself up, Big Cat. or
I
else
am.
It's
I
just
just
a waste
Can
of
I,
time.
can I
myself
ask you something
up.
though? So
Yeah.
if we're not afraid of failure to the extent where if we fail enough times, all these failures compound and they become a giant success, isn't that a good thing?
Yes. However, your listeners, you have a relationship with your listeners.
Okay.
So if you both feel that you're disappointing your listeners by not following through on promises, that's the issue.
Are we psychologically abusing them?
I think we're psychologically sleeping on the couch.
I feel
They
like
put us in the doghouse.
Yeah.
you're giving them expectation, which are, expectations we got to be really careful with because they set us up for disappointment or failure. So basically,
Okay.
okay,
I'm following you.
You are.
But I have a little bit of a spin on this.
Spin it.
Tell me how right I am. If we set a bunch of expectations and fail on them, when we do succeed on the small ones, it's like we're world class.
It's a major success.
Right.
It depends on how you want your listeners to, what light you want. I mean,
It's like the theory of like parenting. Like if you have a child, you just never say "I love you" and never hug the kid, and then when they graduate high school, you hug them and say "I love you."
And then it's like
the
Christmas
biggest
morning.
moment ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Listen, this is a choice.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, every day I say I love you to the listeners.
True.
Wonderful. And do you love them?
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely
believe
do.
that.
Sometimes
I believe that.
we don't always show it,
Okay.
but I say it with my words.
Deep in our
Okay.
heart, we do.
What means more, words or action?
Action.
Why? I don't like that answer. Can we?
What if the
can
words
you-
are
Why don't
funny?
you like that answer?
Because I say I love you every day, but we don't always follow through on things
Well, how else would you show love?
by saying the words "I love you."
You can say any other word.
No,
Or-
not
If we buy 'em off.
any other word.
So what's so scary about the action of I love you?
The action. It's,
That's fear.
no, I'm.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
I'm a little scared.
Jesus
I'm a little
Christ,
snap.
you're getting.
It's
I
fear.
can't help you here,
But
dude.
what if-
I'm
so-
mentally tougher than her? I don't know if you are.
All right. So what is it about fear? Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about it. What's your? It
I'm
sounds.
afraid that they'll love me too much.
Well, why
I'm
don't
afraid
you?
that the content that we would end up putting out, if we followed through on all of our weird ideas that we say that we're going to do,
Yeah.
I'm afraid that the content would be so good
Mm-hmm.
that it would make all of our pretty good content look
Yeah.
bad in comparison.
Why not
Right.
just choose love?
And I don't want to take that away from our listeners because I feel like we have something good going.
You
Yes.
do.
So I don't want to like. Okay, if I could use an analogy here,
Please.
I don't want to take a bunch of gas station pills that will give me a very strong libido.
She said you would.
Okay.
She said you
And
would.
then you have that one night relationship, and then every other night's not as good because you're not on the rhino horn anymore.
Expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't wanna raise 'em.
Expectations. So
Okay.
right now, I feel like we've got a good groove going with us and the listeners.
Everything we say can be like, they're not going to actually do it.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
that's fine, but it's still you have not answered. You've danced around, but you have not
good
answered
job.
the
Good job
question.
dancing around.
Yeah, that was
You're back.
that was really good.
You're
no,
mentally strong.
but you're saying you have a fear behind the action of showing love to your fans and your audience.
I have a fear of their reaction to me showing
Why?
that love.
Why fear? Why not be love and be like, thank you, with gratitude. Thank you for that. That is amazing. That fuels my fire more.
I don't like compliments.
Well, that's why.
Okay.
You want to get into that? Why
yeah,
not?
I feel like it's weird when people are like,
That's a really good point.
Why don't you like
that's
if somebody says they really enjoy your work, you're awesome, you're off the cuff, you say what you want, you're self-made, you are making all these things happen.
Okay,
You're
here's a
uncomfortable
real
with
fear.
that?
No, here's a real fear. Ready for this? I'm going to open myself up for a second. I think there is a sweet spot in what we do, and this is kind of what PFT is saying, where if we get too big, we lose that sweet spot, and then we become like almost not celebrities, but we could like eventually if you become a celebrity, then you lose that sweet spot of like, I just don't want the spotlight to get too big.
Is that in your control or out of your control?
So it's
It's like
missing
cats in the cradle.
Missing
so
expectations
missing is a
helps
great
us
way to
keep
keep us
us
in check,
low,
yeah.
right? So this is a defense mechanism,
right.
you cannot control.
Have you ever liked a
It's
band?
out of your control.
Have you ever liked a band and then they get really big and you're like, oh, I liked them when they were smaller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can see them in smaller
if that-
venues.
Yeah, so if that band, every other album they put out sucks, or they say they're going to release an album and they just forget and they get fat and have to do a radio show every day,
Right.
then in that circumstance, like, they keep those expectations smaller and they don't get to the point where they outgrow their tank.
You cannot control that. That is out of your control. Your job is to do your work, be committed to your work.
Well, we could. I mean, one of us could get like a DUI or something. That would probably take us down a notch.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Not it.
I cannot
Hank
speak
will do
on
it.
that.
Hank-
I don't advise that,
Yeah.
but that's your choice. You know, it's up to you, but you can't control. You put your stuff out there, and you can't control other people. That's out of your hands.
Okay.
You know, once you do your work and you have this huge fan base, you have these opportunities coming out to do different, shows like this, and that's out of your control. It's naturally going to happen. You're naturally, and it doesn't mean you're not going to have the sweet spot.
Listen, we can take baby steps. I think we've actually
Baby
taken
steps are good.
Yeah,
we've
this is a
taken
baby
a
step.
step by having you in here, right? That counts.
Absolutely.
That's actually a very big step.
I believe so.
I think we're solved.
So we're good.
fixed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
I'm so good at my job.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, I have one last question about
Yeah.
our audience relationship with us and vice versa before we get to the FAQ stuff.
Yep.
Can you buy love?
Good question.
Like if we just started giving our audience money.
No. It depends on the
You
kind
sure
of
about
love.
that?
It you know what? That's a case to case basis. That's individual. I can't speak on what love means to somebody else. Right?
Interesting. So love comes in all different shapes and forms.
Absolutely. And it depends, again, what was their culture of origin? What does love look like for them? For some
Okay.
people, love looks like, being showered with materialistic things. For others, it's actions rather
Yeah.
than words.
What and what's peak love? Dog? Your love for your dog?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
so we
That's
got that.
unconditional.
Do dogs love us back?
I firmly believe that.
Okay, that's
Are you
Mine too.
sure?
That's good to know.
Positive.
Because my dog likes everybody, but I want to believe that he loves me.
He loves you. He has your back.
See, my dog loves me, but she really loves me when I have food.
Okay.
So like that seems like if I was just an empty vessel with food.
Well, that's
if I was a
like-
robot carrying food around.
That's
would
like
love
the
the robot.
icing.
Robot.
That's like the icing on your cake.
Okay.
That's like the cherry on top.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Fair?
right. Yeah, no, that is
So
fair.
your dog loves you.
Yeah, all right.
I know it.
You sure?
Sure.
All right. All right, let's do some FAQs. So, Hillary, the licensed therapist, I am
Yes.
very interested in what a therapist does on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what type of therapy do you do?
I'm general mental health, but I have a special in anxiety. I love to work with anxiety and couples, relationships.
Is CBD like a fraud? Do you ever
I
prescribe
think
that?
I don't, but there's a place. I'm not a prescriber of
Can
it,
you
but
prescribe us Adderall?
I cannot.
Okay. Had to ask.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly
Got it.
seem like you need
Got
it,
it.
but
That helps.
hey,
That helps
listen,
anxiety,
yeah.
right?
But there's a place for everything.
Okay.
CBD oil. I'm not for.
You're not
All right.
saying no to it.
I'm
All
not
right.
saying no.
I have a dream where my teeth fall out sometimes.
Yeah, that's a fear-based dream.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have to look at my dream
I
book.
think it means that your dick's going to fall off.
No,
if
it
I
means
remember.
that my
ex-
dick's
yeah.
too big.
Oh,
That's
got
not
it.
That's what I read.
online.
The rhino pills.
That's
Yeah.
what I read. I didn't want to scare him. No.
Have you ever fallen in love with a mafia boss?
Me personally?
Yes.
No.
You sure?
Other than when Tony Soprano was in his
no
prime.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh,
no
sorry,
spoilers.
sorry. Hank hasn't seen it
Please,
yet.
please,
Oh.
please, please.
That was actually my
okay.
question. I had a series
haven't
of
seen it yet?
Sopranos-related
Yeah.
questions.
No, actually, this is something we
Oh
can
no,
talk
no,
about.
we'll get to
Okay,
it. We'll get to
okay,
it. We'll
okay,
get to it.
okay.
We're not. This isn't
All right,
that portion.
hold. Okay.
Do you have a
This
therapist?
is another thing where
Yes.
every time I try and speak, I just get shunned.
Do I have a therapist? Am I human? Absolutely.
Do you think everybody
Yes.
should have a therapist? Let me rephrase that. What type of people should not go to a therapist?
I believe, listen, we are mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit, whatever it is. Our brain runs the show. We live in a world where we are constantly reachable. There's no downtime. We need to download in a space. Like, people come into my office, I'm like, hey, this office, Vegas. You know, what happens here
there's
stays here.
Cocaine, there's strippers, there's
Listen,
blackjack,
as
there's
long
everything.
as they don't want to hurt themselves, somebody else, or there's not a child in danger or being neglected, I'm not a judge or jury.
Talk about that. So there's like an oath that you take?
Yes.
So you can't repeat anything that is said to you. So you can't repeat anything we've told you today.
No.
You can't repeat anything that is said to you unless they are going to hurt themselves, hurt someone else, hurt
or
a child.
report a child being neglected or
We're
abused.
thinking about robbing a bank.
What?
Okay, so has anyone ever said that to you?
What did you say? You're drawing a blank?
That's actually pretty awesome. Because then we could say it, and then we could be like, well, we actually told our therapist and it was a joke.
Yeah, we're trying to get it out of our system.
I can
Right.
be court ordered for notes, but that's a whole thing.
Yeah, so tell me about your notes. Like when I started talking about my masculinity earlier, you went straight for the notepad. How detailed are your notes during a session?
Not at all.
It says
I
it right
write.
there. PFD's a pussy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
worried about
Shitty facial
teeth
hair.
and losing penis in dream. No, I don't. I actually, notes are very, and it's purposeful. Like, I will use one page for probably 8 sessions, and I write in corners. Nothing makes sense. It's for me to, like, remember names, to bring up things if a word comes up. For instance, what did you say? Emasculate. I have that in quotes, so if I need to come back to it, I'm like, what was up with that?
Yeah.
So notes, you know.
The second I said that word, I was like, that's gonna be a trigger.
You were
word.
like,
that's
I'm
for sure.
dead.
She wrote down so fast.
Note
All right.
to self.
This might be a dumb question.
No dumb question.
Is it successful when people cry? Do you try to make people cry?
No. However, I encourage, you can see when somebody's about to get a little weepy. I encourage a safe environment and say that this is stuff that needs to come out. Whether it's in front of me or not, it's therapeutic.
Is it easier to talk to somebody when they're laying down?
It doesn't bother me either way.
Okay. Do you
Most
have
of
them?
my clients are upright.
They
I think.
they sit up.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to lay down, but
They can be in whatever position they want.
as long as it's not offensive to me. Like,
Okay.
I'm not going to let somebody sit there in my office with their hands,
Down their pants.
down their pants.
That's a
Like,
problem.
that's a little,
That would be an issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then that's something that you can dive into a little bit. Like, why do you feel the need to do
I
this?
would ask them to please remove their hands from the pants and be like, what's up with that?
Okay,
What
what-
was that
We
about?
just like to touch our stuff.
Listen.
Like most guys do.
I get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just a guy thing.
True.
Hank, do you want to talk to her about your issue?
Oh, I'm allowed to now?
No, not that issue.
Oh.
The other
The
issue.
hand down the
erectile
the pants
dysfunction.
issue?
Nope. That's
Okay.
they just make up lies
No,
about
yeah,
me,
we'll
and
get
then
to
they
Hank, we'll
spread
get to
them
Hank,
to
we'll get
hundreds
to
of
Hank.
thousands of people.
We'll get to
Why?
Hank. We'll get to
Why are
Hank.
you picking on
Hold
Hank?
on,
I
we
go in
still
the
have
street
FAQ.
and I'm going to the bar and like
We have-
someone's like, "Hey, Hank, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, wow,
Mm-hmm.
it's so cool to like meet fans of our show." And they're like, "How's your erectile dysfunction?"
Aw.
And it
will
just
have-
crushes me.
No, we will have.
It
Stop. We'll get to Hank in a
Hank,
second.
cut your own mic off.
So-
We'll get to Hank in a second. Don't listen to him.
We're going to get back to that,
Yeah, we're gonna
Hank.
do
I got
FAQ.
you.
Thank
Okay. Do you?
It crushes me.
Do you? Did you
Really
find
does.
that you lost any clients in the very heated 2016 election cycle because your name's Hillary?
I did not notice.
I bet you a couple did.
Yeah, maybe.
I guarantee.
Well, MAGA Hank over here when
He does.
he just stormed out of the room and he goes, Hillary's here.
Damn it! Lock her up.
Yeah.
That's what he
I have
said.
one L in my name.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
That's a little different.
Yeah, I couldn't keep any of the
Do
headlines.
you do
So does PLFT.
is there is there better business for you during a recession?
I haven't noticed that, but what I do notice is around holiday times, certain anniversaries in people's lives, like death of somebody or loss of something, it kind of increases. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, people need to talk, and I think that the stigma of mental health has gotten a lot better. I mean, a long way to go, but there's
Agreed.
kind of like ain't no shame in the game, like people are recognizing that if there's something on my mind, if I can feel better, if I can be more focused, if I can achieve my goals, if I can just get some skills,
Yeah.
then there's kind of no shame in that.
Do you know anyone who does hypnosis?
Not personally, but I can get you a referral.
Okay,
Are
is
you
that
interested?
real? Yeah, well, yeah. Definitely.
Again, I think that there's a place for everything. I know that I have a friend of mine who went because of a fear, and it helped her for a while. But I think there might be some kind, and I'm speaking totally off, this is just me. I think you might have to continue. Yeah, this is just hill dog up in here. Sheer dog. I like sheer dog.
Sheer dog. Okay.
But I think that there is a place, and I just think that you have to kind of revisit it and reprogram whatever it is they're working on.
What does anxiety feel like? Because I think I have it, but I don't know.
Anxiety, and I can speak on it because part of the reason why I'm here is I experienced my own anxiety, and it kind of put me on this trajectory to go back and study it. So anxiety can feel very different for a lot of people. Personally speaking, for me, I felt very foggy and almost out of my body a little bit. Not like out of her body, but like, you just kind of feel disengaged. Your arms and legs can be a little numb. Then there's the obvious, like, take me to the hospital because I think I'm having a heart attack. It's very, very different.
Okay.
A lot of people can be overstimulated by lights or sound or...
Would anxiety... Could you say anxiety could be seen, like... I think I have anxiety, but I think it usually... is illustrated to me like yelling when I'm losing bets.
Okay.
So like when I'm gambling and I'm losing and I just snap.
Sure. Okay. Well,
is that anxiety?
What's the snap look like?
Like
yelling. He like makes up
what?
that I'm staring.
So
like if
you're
I
Hank,
look at him,
Hey.
he just lashes out at me. Borderline abuse
we'll
me.
be like, okay,
No,
so it'd be like
for
something like
looking.
this, like, why the fuck are they kicking a field goal right now?
Yeah. So that sounds like anger, but let me just say one thing. Everybody has anxiety. We all have it. It's a human. We have it. It's
That's
just
true?
Absolutely. Everybody has anxiety. We're built that way. It's but it's how it affects our life. If you're like, you wake up one morning and you're like, I literally, like, I can't move. Like, I can't go to work today. That's a problem. When anxiety gets in the way of your everyday, that's an issue. If you're betting, and I don't know what team, I'll just say the Jets. Is that an okay
That's a
team?
bad bet.
No, not making sheer dog. Not making bets, but that's you. You're frustrated, you're angry.
Yeah.
But it's okay to like scream at the screen and be like, what the
Oh, it is.
What about
Why
someone
not?
else?
Oh.
What if you're taking that anger out
All right,
on
so let's
Yeah,
get
no,
to it.
we got to get to Hank. I feel like
all right, let's
Real
get
quick
to it. So here,
Before we get to Hank, we'll get to you in a second, Hank.
That's how I
have
feel all the time.
I have a
Just
friend.
pushed
Do a
off
lot of
and
people
neglected.
say that
You have a friend?
Do a lot of people do that?
yeah, tell me about
Like
it.
I have a friend.
Yeah.
who wants to rob a bank?
I have a friend
Yeah.
that wants to rob a bank very badly, and the producer of his podcast is a real piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
No, I do have a friend. His name is he picks his nose a lot.
Okay.
My friend picks his nose all the time, so much so that they gave him a nickname about picking his nose. His name's Snot.
Snotface.
Snot.
Snotface.
Okay.
Snot.
Johnson.
And Snotface Johnson.
Snotface Johnson.
What does that mean? If you pick your nose a lot, and this really isn't me.
And also claim that you've never eaten it.
Yeah, it is a friend of ours.
Is he, listen, again, I don't want to judge. Like, your age?
No,
He's a little bit
a
older.
little older.
He picks his nose a lot?
No, yeah.
Does he have a fear of something being in his nose? Did something ever happen when he was younger? Like, was he embarrassed in the fourth grade?
He burned a lot of trash and got in trouble.
a lot of trash?
Well, like, but was there a girl that he liked in elementary school, and he was like professing, like he was actually going to take action and be like, "Hey, I love you, girl," and he had a big booger, and she was like, "You have a big booger," and like completely emasculated him.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly his mom caught him burning trash.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
then he started sticking his finger in his nose.
To cope with
Yeah,
that
because he
feeling?
got in trouble because his mom told him that he was a bad kid.
Oh, so bad. So then told him he was a bad kid for burning trash or picking his nose.
Burning trash, I think.
And that, yeah, I don't know. I'd have
Is
to
there
look
a problem
that
with
up.
picking your nose recreationally?
Do you have a problem with picking your nose?
No, I do it all. I'm fine with it when I do it.
I
Okay.
did it while you were talking about it.
Do you do it on camera?
I've definitely been caught on camera picking my
Are
nose
you
before.
okay with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you care what other people think?
No, again, like that's another small failure in life is getting caught on camera picking my nose.
Okay, so as long as you own it, then pick your nose.
All right,
Okay.
Hank,
Who
do you
am I
want
to
to
tell you no?
All right, so let me tell you the betting Hank thing.
Okay, all right. Betting
So
Hank.
I have a gambling problem.
Okay.
Hank has a gambling problem, but Hank pretends he doesn't. So Hank had the opposite side of a bet that I had, and he was in the middle of a very important game that wasn't related to the bet. A very monumental moment for him in his life. and the bet was also going on at the same time. I lost the bet. Hank won the bet. He went like this. You ready? He turned. He went. Stared me down right through my soul. I said, "What the fuck, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do that? I lost. You won. Why you gotta stare me down?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he did that a few times. Didn't he do that a few times?
Mm-hmm.
He had like a phase where he would just kind of stare at us.
It wasn't always a stare. Sometimes it was like you're
Giggle.
watching a game and you're winning, and you want to let out like a little
Yeah.
like one of those, but it was a little bit louder than it should have been because he knew that we were on the other
And he's
side.
always
and we were
sitting
in the room.
behind us, so it's like it comes like he thinks he's like sitting like, oh, they can't see me. Yeah.
He'll go, yeah, and then we'll turn around and be like, oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, forgot that you had that bet.
Yeah. But he didn't forget.
Now, can I give my
You
side
can. Are you?
before?
Did
Yeah, I won't.
you heard their version of it?
Oh,
though,
he
right,
knows.
Hank?
He lived it.
Okay, so Hank, can we finally hear from you,
Yes.
please?
Thank you so much
This
for
is your time.
finally letting me talk.
We will hear you.
That was really condescending to Hillary.
No, it was more like you guys won't let me speak.
Yeah, I didn't take
Ever.
it as a personal affront.
I did
Go ahead.
for you.
I'm good. We're good, Hank. We're good. Talk
So
to me.
I'm younger than them. Big Cat and PFT they're my heroes. Legitimately, like getting to work with them every day.
Are you being real right now?
Yes.
Or are you
No,
being
that's dead serious.
So why are you laughing?
This is what he does.
Why can't you accept?
Buttering you up.
He's
He's
manipulating
buttering
because
you
you
up.
can't take
No,
a compliment.
no, what's
Yeah,
happening is
that's true.
Hank is he's doing the I'm the good guy in the room right
There-
now.
listen,
I'm gonna be
again,
so nice to
I'm not the
everybody.
See
judge
what
or
I'm
jury.
saying? Every time I get a
So-
chance to talk, I get interrupted and they try
He's
and change my
basically-
narrative.
Hank
Here-
once tripped me
I
while
just
I was
wanna-
walking.
I
I
just
fell
wanna
on my
s-
face
I
and
just
broke
want
my
my
nose.
chance
This
to
is
speak.
Hank. This is Hank's.
Okay.
Go ahead, Hank.
Anyway, so I care for them. I'm worried about them. Like when they're down, I'm down. When they're up, I'm up. And so as Big Cat said before, when anxiety happens, sometimes you just lash it out like, fuck, I lost that bet.
Right.
And I'm in the office and all of a sudden I heard him be like, fuck. And I just turned around like, like,
Right.
what is everything okay, Big Cat? Like, are you okay? And he just as you said before, he just lashed out. It was
such
like
a lie.
he made eye contact with me and saw that he
lie.
could take out all of his anger on me.
Yeah.
And that's what he
That's
did. And
such a
then
lie.
in order to keep the lie going, he started spreading that on our airwaves so that more people think that I'm like that. And it's just like I try so hard to make them happy, and then when they just turn into hate towards me, it
That's not true.
crushes
That's
me.
a lie.
He's manipulating. Also,
manipulating.
also Hank's a loud yawner. I don't
Yep.
know if that has anything to do with
Well,
his
guys,
And
lying.
it's really bad to wake up in the morning.
We can
Yeah.
talk about the yawning after. So let's really hear Hank.
Okay.
Have you heard what he said?
Hank,
Yeah, I
what
heard
about
it.
the time you tried to punch Billy because he tried to wake you up in the morning?
Hank said that he has a chance right now to work with two people that he
Geniuses.
really
Oh,
looks up
He
to.
doesn't
This
see.
is
In
cra- this is
fact, he
bullshit.
just called you geniuses.
Hillary,
Doesn't
don't buy
believe
this
that.
shit.
Listen, I'm just hearing Hank. I have no reason to believe
Finally.
he's lying
Thank
to
you.
me, just like I have no reason to believe that you are lying to me, but he's legitimately saying he's had this chance. He's working with two guys that he truly admires and cares for.
I think that Hank's an actual psychopath after
Yeah.
listening
Oh.
to him
He's the
talk
one.
right
yeah,
now.
I actually
So is
when I-
this?
he's a-
are
he's a
you like?
puppet
He's the one
are
who
you-
burns the little animals when
Yeah.
he was a kid.
am I dealing with Kaiser Soze? Like, is
A
this
little
happening?
bit.
Yeah.
I don't trust him now.
See what I'm
Hank,
saying?
I don't know. I
multiple
kind of feel
personalities
like
from
it's
Hank.
okay.
Everything that I say is meant for the greater good, and I just get so scared. I feel like I just have been beaten down by them so much that
Scared?
I'm worried about everything I say is just going to
This
get
fucking guy?
twisted and
You
manipulated.
scared, you pussy?
Even in this example,
listen, look what
I
they're doing.
spilled my heart out, and they're calling me a psychopath.
Yeah.
No, you are being
It
a
makes me
psychopath.
scared to
Psychopath.
speak
Well,
the truth.
don't forget,
I'm
PFT,
horrified every time I walk into work. I can't
PFT
speak.
said it would be emasculating for him to apologize. So the way
Which
he
I'm
might
actually now on his side, PFT's side.
emasculate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
emasculating.
because
Who
you know what? Hank's
apologizes?
being a little bitch right now.
I don't think you're being a bitch. I think that for you to put yourself out there in this manner and to be open with your feelings and say that
But I regret it already.
yeah,
Good.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Don't ever say how you feel again.
this
Idiot.
is
We're men.
listen, and yeah. So there's the thing too. We're men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. We don't
so
have
do
opinions.
you
Break
guys
that down.
We don't have emotions
break that
unless
down?
it's about
Wiki.
sports.
Yeah.
So he feels a certain type of way about you guys, like in a good way. Do you know that he admires you?
Yeah, we're
and your
alphas.
work?
He's a beta.
He would naturally look up to us.
Right.
Because it's like the robot feeding the dog thing.
Right.
We put dog food on Hank's plate. So
Yeah.
of course he's like, I love these guys.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it goes beyond dog food, but perhaps it goes. I mean, I'm hoping
He's got a
for
water
you.
dish too.
But from what I'm really glad because hydration is super
Oh,
important.
super key. Yeah. Look at
Water
me, I'm
is like
drinking water right
70% of our bodies, so that's important. But for you guys to hear that he truly cares about what you think, he admires you and your work, he's happy to be here working together. Can you hear
I
that?
used to be.
Yeah. I think it's bullshit. He stared me down. It was the
okay,
Saints
so let's go
Vikings
back.
Sunday Night Football. I had what did I have? The Saints? Yeah. I had the Saints. You had the Vikings. No, it might have been the other way around because I don't think the Vikings ever win. And he was watching the Red Sox win the World Series. You should have been happy about that. Instead, he stared me down.
There was another time.
So it's the stared you down thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, but this is a
Really?
pattern.
Yeah.
It's a pattern because there was another game. I think it was Saints Ravens, and me and Big Cat had
Yes.
the Ravens.
Yes.
And they scored a touchdown that was going to win them the game and win them the bet. And then Hank, like sitting 2 seats away from us, goes, not until they make the extra point.
Yeah.
And then me and Big Cat went to ESPN, checked the live update. Justin Tucker missed the extra point, and Hank was so
Lost
happy.
that.
So what if he's just kind of dishing back at you two? You guys
Dishing
Never
back what?
dish it on
you
him.
did you
The only thing we dish on him is his dog food that he gets to eat.
you dish plenty. I can just you're
no.
calling him the P word.
That's
so
actually how guys say that we love each other.
Yeah.
that's some I noted.
Yeah.
Noted. Thank you for that.
Also,
Noted.
I kind of feel like almost like a stepson. Like PFT tells all of our listeners, hundreds of thousands of people every day that he loves them.
Because I do.
And he's never said it to me once.
Oh, good point.
You gotta, that's not true. I've said it to Hank.
I don't know.
Say
Do we
right
have
now. I've
said
footage
it-
of that?
say right now.
I've said it millions of times.
Say
so.
right
Do you
now.
value your working relationship?
Of course I value it, yeah.
Do you value him as a human?
Of course.
So tell him that.
I've said it before. I don't.
Well,
why
but
would
you
I
know
need to say
what?
it again? I've said it like hundreds of times.
Because it sounds like he needs to hear it.
No, I've said it. But I don't know why I would have to say it again. I've said it 100 times.
He's basically telling you, like, I need this from
No,
you, man.
listen,
like,
he
you
knows.
might.
Hank knows.
That's like, I'm not asking you to show actions.
You're right.
Don't emasculate yourself or anything. But, like, he's
Here,
asking.
I'll try. You watch me. Watch
Hank
me.
knows.
Yeah, but
Hank that I.
Hank just said
I'll show
he's.
him. I'll show Hank. I love you when you're not acting like a fucking asshole, staring me down after I lose money. Other than that, I love you.
Well, we can
PFT,
get
you
into
go.
what.
Yeah.
PFT, you go.
I love you guys.
Let's have it directed.
He's
toward
part
Hank.
of guys.
Well,
He's a guy.
we have,
Oh,
Liam's here too.
Did you just emasculate Hank by insinuating he wasn't one of the guys?
We said he can't get it up.
no.
Not that he's.
Oh,
not
well,
one of the
listen,
guys.
that's a whole issue we
still
can talk about
technically
at
a
a
male.
later date, but I don't really necessarily believe that, Hank. I know they're picking on you, but
We're not.
I love you
at
guys.
all.
I love both of you guys.
who? Who do you love?
Bubba.
Who are you looking at?
Bubba and Hank.
Did you hear that, Hank?
I heard Bubba first.
Can you maybe now flip it and reverse it?
I love Liam and Hank.
And what about the opposite way?
Love both of them.
And H comes
Equal.
first.
You
H
can't make
comes
me
first.
choose between-
H comes first in the
Why are you
alphabet. Let's
making
go
me
alphabetical.
choose? Why are you making me choose between the two of them?
Just because I'm
'Cause if
hearing,
I say to
I'm hearing
Hank-
that there's a friend in need.
Yeah, they're great.
Look at
I
him.
love
Look
them.
at
I
him.
love them.
They're good guys.
I
He
love
loves them.
I mean,
It's a
have we
baby
gone?
step.
I mean, it was a baby step. That I give you.
I love 'em.
That was a baby step.
I appreciate you trying. I just, I'm sure you
Listen,
deal with lost causes
Rome
all
was
the time.
not built in a day.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
He just called me a lost cause.
Showing that we're invested in each other in the relationship. That's huge. So we might not get there right now, but we can continue to work on it.
Okay, I have one last question about
Mm-hmm.
how therapy works and how therapists do their job.
Okay.
Is anyone ever healed?
Healed is subjective.
So-
Has anybody ever said, "Thanks, Doc, I'm cured"? And
Like,
walked
I'm
out?
done.
I have had plenty of clients who have gone step down from weekly to, every 2 weeks to once a month to like a tune-up. Yeah, and that's my wish for them, is that,
See, you're doing it all wrong. Like, if I were you,
Yeah.
I would be like, listen, first thing out of the gate when we start therapy, you're never healed. You have to come once a week, $1,000 cash.
yeah, I wish.
And then it's just boom.
No.
The money train keeps going.
Yeah, it's not. This is more like Karma dollars? I know. Listen, if you think I got in it for the money,
I'm looking
different.
for an angle here, okay?
Yeah, well, that's fine. But it's not. It's like it's about people coming in with all different things that we kind of just help them navigate. And if they get through these things, like a breakup or a death or grief or new job or transition or fears, and then they kind of take these skills. It's like they have a little toolbox and we fill it up with these skills, and then they kind of go on their way.
I think I might start
through
therapy.
life.
I actually, we obviously don't want people to think that we're making fun of therapy. We
aren't. Yeah.
We actually need
Yeah.
help. We have a lot of things we need therapy
That's
for.
great.
So, and I agree with you. The stigma has changed.
Mm-hmm.
People, I feel like, talk about their mental health a lot more.
Yeah.
Hank is gonna eventually get there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Hopefully.
I think
think
Hank did
so?
a great job.
Hank
Just
kind of
saying.
shuts down. He
Shuts
doesn't.
down.
Yeah, he doesn't open up about stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
but listen, it's okay. You opened up very nicely.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
I
good job,
appreciate
Hank. You
that.
opened up real.
I
real
Yes.
appreciate that, Hank.
Nice job.
Real
What-
nice.
Thank
one-
you for
spreading
that.
yourself out there.
One last question. last question.
Yeah.
Do you ever do your time's up? I always thought like
No.
that's therapists do. Like, okay, your time's up.
No, and what's funny is that my business partner in our center, she is very against having a clock in the office. I mean, we both wear watches. Like, we literally have to keep time just to respect everybody else's time after us. But we're never, it's 45 minutes.
It's
but
like Jamaica.
yeah,
island
right?
time, right?
Hey.
Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But we like to keep within the certain time, but we would never cut anybody off, and we would never leave anybody feeling unsafe.
See, that's disappointing because if I was a therapist, I'd wait till they start telling a boring story and be like,
Oh
"Time's
yeah,
up."
you'd be like,
We
you'd
gotta
wake
go.
up first.
Yeah,
and
it's
then you'd
like,
be
all right,
like,
time- you know what?
You'd be like,
Time's up.
whoa, sorry,
I don't wanna
sorry,
hear
I
about
wasn't
this.
sleeping.
I don't want to hear about
was
your fantasy team. Time's up.
That to me seems like
What?
a source of anxiety for me.
Mhm.
If I were to talk to a therapist, is like knowing that okay, I have 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left.
That's
So
why
I
I got
can.
no clocks.
Yeah, it's like Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
like
guys
you
are
don't. You
exactly
come out
like
of there and
Vegas.
you don't know what time it is.
No windows.
Yeah.
There's pumped in oxygen.
Pumped
Yeah,
in.
you should do
Yeah,
that.
and it's
Like
we
that.
actually put a little something else in the like truth serum.
Yes.
Oh,
That's very
ecstasy.
important,
I've
too.
heard that MDMA helps people open up. Is that true?
They will stick with the rhinos.
The rhino horns.
The rhino horns.
Okay. Do you think that there's ever been a therapist who's been a spy? Because that'd be really effective.
That would be so unethical. A great movie, but completely like
Yeah.
Very bad for therapists.
very
community.
bad for the community and the mental health world
Yes.
in general.
They should just send a bunch of therapists to Guantanamo Bay instead of torturing them, and just be like,
Talk
"Open
it
up
out.
to us. We won't tell anyone.
Right, you can
Speak
trust
directly
me.
into this flower lapel pin that I have."
Right, but unfortunately, their experiences would affect the way they would be able to open up or not.
That's also
you know.
probably unethical as well.
I would
Do you
think
ever
so.
say "hug it out, bitch"?
Sometimes.
Okay.
You
Nice.
know, like let's hug
Hugs
this
are
out.
nice,
I've given clients hugs because,
Yeah.
if they needed it, yeah. I mean, I don't make a practice of it, but if
Right.
we've had a truly,
Right.
a session where I feel like, I'm human
Good
and I'm all
work,
about
yeah.
the love.
Yeah.
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 Has a client ever spoiled like a movie or show you really liked?
No,
by
because I
accident?
will full on be like, no, spoiler alert. That's not in my job
Same.
description.
Right,
So
I-
what if you
Same.
let's say theoretically you said that and then in a conniving way your client snuck in spoilers
and
in a
we're
way
like,
that
ha
you
ha ha,
didn't
he
even
died
realize.
anyway.
Yeah.
I would really be pissed and we'd talk about it. I would be like, I just set a firm
Trust.
boundary
But-
with you.
yeah. But-
What happened?
Okay, but what if somebody's like big fear is like, hey, I live every day of my life with a lot of anxiety because I think it's going to be like the end of The Sixth Sense where Bruce Willis was dead the entire movie.
Oh, right.
And that's me.
Ooh.
And then they snuck that spoiler in. Would you be mad?
Well, there's like doorknob therapy where like a client will bring up this huge thing at like, when they know that it's time to go. Like either they'll be like, I think I might feel like hurting myself or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like just about when, that you're ready to turn the doorknob to leave.
Right.
So, there's definitely things like that, in which case they sit down and
Sit back down.
sit back down.
Like
let's-
when Tony's girlfriend was like, "If you leave, I'm gonna kill myself." And then
Oh,
she lit
yeah,
herself on fire back.
Oh,
Remember that?
she did. I
Yeah,
sure
that was
do.
fucked up.
Yeah, that was
That was a
really,
very
and
fucked up scene.
in that case, I would
Yeah,
be,
like, let's sit down.
reporting.
Don't throw this
and-
roast beef at me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't throw a roast beef at
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, we also have this one listener. His name's Jonathan. And so when we talked about the Truman Show the other week, I know that there's like I don't know if you want to call it a disorder or if it's just some sort of mental state
It's
or condition
narcissism. Yeah.
where you think that you're in the Truman Show your entire life.
Oh.
We have this one listener named Jonathan who was thinking he was in the Truman Show. Can you just tell him that you've watched everything that he's done and he's not in the Truman Show?
Yeah.
No, but what's up, Jonathan?
Oh, Hillary just gave us a wink, like, I know. I've known Jonathan
Yeah.
since he was born.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
by the
you're
way,
listening to
no
this.
such
We know, dude.
thing.
Your
Yeah.
new haircut is awful. She said that before we started taping.
Yeah, and don't worry about.
And by the
striking
way,
out.
pick up after your dog.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
The entire apartment complex knows.
All right, Hillary.
Yes.
Thank you very much. This
Thank
has been a ton of
you.
fun.
Awesome.
What can we give? Let's we obviously joke. We have a we hope funny show, but what
You
can we
do.
tell people in a serious tone about mental health and like what people the benefits of therapy?
The benefits of therapy, I believe, are to just be able to empower yourself, to give yourself, it's self-care, really. It's about, if you go to the doctor because your stomach hurts, you're going to go to the doctor because you're going to want to take care of yourself. If you're feeling like racing thoughts or anxiety or depression or anything that just doesn't feel right, or you're super stressed and you don't know how to deal, then make a call. There ain't no shame in the game.
Yep.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
And there's no shame in it. Reach
Okay.
out.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Hillary.
Thanks,
you.
Old Dog.
Friends for
Thank
life.
you.
We're
Sure
friends
dog.
for
Oh,
life.
Sure dog.
yeah.
Except
Sure
for
dog.
Hank.
Love
You can't
it.
be friends with Hank.
Listen,
He'll stab you in the back.
I am not.
The minute
well,
you walk out of the store, he's gonna be like, she
again,
sucked.
listen, Hank, you and I are cool, and there's no judgment, and I feel like you're cool, man. And
Yeah, but you're a bad guy. That's
no.
what she meant to say.
No, but this has certainly been a pleasure. I so appreciate this. Hank, I think you're awesome. You guys are awesome, too. Thank you so much
Why'd you
for
say to
having
Hank
me.
first?
Yeah. That was very
You're
clearly
awesome.
number
What the
one.
fuck?
You're awesome.
It's the first time
You're
I've felt like
awesome.
myself since
You're
I started
awesome.
working with them.
And you're
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Yeah. Do you love Hank?
I always
No.
listen,
So
wait.
you're sitting over here telling me to tell Hank.
May
but
I
you can't say
finish?
it.
Listen, in the realm of choosing fear or love, I am human. I love you as a human. I feel the
She said
love.
you've got a great personality.
Yeah.
I like you.
Let's-
as a
You're a
friend.
nice guy.
Wait, and wait, what did you say? Do we hug it out, bitch?
Yeah,
like
hug it out,
that's
bitch.
it. That's
Entourage.
that's it.
Oh man. All right.
Awesome.
Hillary, thank you.
Thank you
chat.
so much.